Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Rachel. In this video, we are going to be making some baby gifts. And no, it's not for me, it's for my best friend. I had mentioned her in my previous video. She just got engaged and she has a third one on the way. And I'm so excited for her and her new family. So what we're going to do is we're going to make some the first craft project. We are going to make Milestone wood disc, and actually it's kind of cute how she used to her first two kids excuse me, she would put post-it notes of the month of how old they were, like 1 month, 2 months, and so on and so forth. And I thought, I just can't let this continue. I have to make her something cute for her third baby. So I thought that I would make some Milestone disc for this project, and I'm going to use this. I thought it'd be kind of cute when the baby gets a little bit older, the baby can hold it. Now, if you watched any of my craft haul videos, you'll learn that I buy what I call blanks. So I look beyond what is there and see the potential. So I really like this type of decor, and I thought this would be kind of cute to put, you know, each month on this little table decor. And so what I did was I got some craft board and I cut it down to the size. Now it's not exactly squared. In fact, you have to be careful with Hobby. And this is Hobby Lobby stuff. I bought it. It was $9, and of course table decor was 50% off. So I only paid like $4.50 for it. But I really don't like to paint, and this is just a lot easier for me. Now, of course, if you don't like this look, the paper look, and you like the painted look and want to stress it, then by all means go ahead and paint yours. But I find it really hard to try to get into those corners of the base here when painting it. So I just figured I'm just going to save myself the struggle and just cut out some craft board. So craft board is a little bit thicker and than your cardstock, and this actually really does prevent anything from the base here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to now, and as I mentioned before, this is not exactly square. So when I tried this out before, it's kind of a tight squeeze in this corner, I believe, but you know what, I can make it work. So I'm just simply going to use my double-sided tape. Now what's awesome about this idea is that you can use cardstock, any type of cardstock. So you can add a cute little background. So I have actually some baby cardstock, but I have a little wreath that's going to go on the base here, and I didn't want it to be too busy, and I felt that if I were to do some type of designed cardstock, that it would be too busy for my eye for this project. So I thought that I would just stick with just a white cardstock. And of course they're not finding out the gender, even though I've been trying to tell them, at least tell me, but they are not going to find out. So I went with some neutral colors. I went with gray for the month, and then I did green because that's my best friend's favorite color. And then I'm going to place let's see, it's a little tight here. I think that I didn't get it in close enough. So let me go ahead and try to peel this up a little bit and see if I can. Nope, it's not going to. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to push this down. I think what had happened is, since it's not squared, I don't know if you can tell, but it's a little off right there. But what I'm going to use is I'm going to use my scraper tool to get it in there. And then I am going to use my True Control knife and just cut away what we don't need. I am going to go ahead and weed this out. This wreath came from Design Space. All right, and just got to weed out the center here. This is Cricut brand. It's removable, so not that that really matters. So I'm going to go ahead and get my transfer tape. Now this transfer tape works really well with paper as well, just like the other ones that I normally use for my craft projects. And scrub down both sides. And if you hear a little, I don't know if you guys are able to hear it, but if you hear a little crackling, that is my candle. If you watched my first video, or not my first video, but the last video that I posted, you will actually see a cute little display I did for a candle that I have, and it's wood wick, so it just kind of sounds like a little fireplace. And I don't know if you can hear it well enough, but that is what's burning in the background, and it smells so good. Looks like that got ripped off. All right, so now that we have that, I'm going to bring this back into, I got some transfer tape on my desk here, and we're going to apply this wreath here. And in fact, I think this should be okay. I was going to trim the transfer tape, but I think it should just be fine. So I did end up having to trim down my transfer tape because it wasn't fitting and it was messing with my eye, so of trying to center this thing. So I'm going to be careful about how I'm burnishing this down, because I don't want the whole transfer tape to really get sticky to the craft board, just because, I mean, it could still rip. It's still paper, right? Despite what transfer tape you're using. So I'm just kind of being mindful of that. I'm going to peel this back slowly. Now, of course, if you have the strong grip transfer tape, do not use that. For some reason, when I was crafting a little while ago, and this is before I started my channel, I was making something and I had, same process. I had a table decor like this, and I added my black, it was black craft board. And I was using, so I was using shimmer paper. And if you ever work, not shimmer paper, but shimmer vinyl. And if you ever use shimmer vinyl, you will learn, or if you haven't, you will learn that you have to use, and I'm not talking about the HTV. It looks like a part that I forgot to weed out, actually. And I'll just see if I can get that part. But you will learn that you have to use strong grip for shimmer vinyl. There's just no way around it. And because it just won't come off. I tried different vinyls, so I was hesitant to using it because I was putting it on paper, and yeah, it definitely was not a good idea. And I don't know if this little guy's going to come out, so we're gonna try. Luckily, I'm using removable vinyl, so it's a little less sticky. So I'm gonna try and be careful not to scratch my project. And I'm just using this gray, again, just trying to be gender neutral, because I don't know what she's having, despite my best efforts of trying to find out what she is having. So I don't know how she's doing it. Me, when I had my first kid, I actually got my blood test done at 8 weeks because I was so eager to find out what I was having. And for those who don't know, I have a little girl. So she's actually the same age as her son, 2 years old. So it's kind of neat to see, compare a 2-year-old boy to a 2-year-old girl. Definitely some differences. I'm trying to figure out, I think it might be best, as much as I don't want to have to do this, I think I'm going to have to cut these apart, because I think this is going to give me some issues. I'm going to have this go upside down because I got to focus on the top here. Sorry if you hear my dog barking in the background. Oh, I'm losing my T. And then let's fix this T. So again, it's just gonna go on here until the baby's here. It's not due until April of 2024. So what we'll do now is, I have these Velcros that I got from Michael's. And I'm going to put the hard side, the rough side, I should say. Actually, you know what I'll do is put this on here. Okay. Hear me out here. And then I'll put this on center. I found the center, so what I'm going to do, or as best as I can really, and then what I'm going to do is center this. See, I added both parts to it. So then I'm going to get this centered as best as possible. Okay, so now that I found it, I pushed it down. I'm just going to simply lift that up. And so all she has to do is put that on there. So then what I'll do is I will put that part down. And come down here. And start, rinse and repeat. All right, there we go. So again, I think these came out really nice. Even though the text is a little bit bigger than I really wanted it to be, I still think actually kind of gives it a little bit of a personality. So I think it all turned out really good. And hopefully, again, my goal is for the baby to hold on to this when she or he is old enough or able to. So obviously they're not going to be able to at the very beginning, but eventually the baby will. And then it'd be kind of cute as they get older to hold it like this. And but yeah, I hope that she'll like that. And again, this is just gonna sit up like this until the baby comes, and then when she switches out, she can do 1 month, and then it goes all the way up to 1 year old. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next craft. This project I am super excited about doing. I wish I had time to do it with my first one, but unfortunately I did not get the chance to make this for my baby, but I am going to make it for my best friend. So I bought this board from Michael's, and I just painted about, I think it's an 8, let me check here, it's 10 by 10. And I painted about 3.5 inches from the top down, and it's basically going to be like, hello, I'm new here, and then it's going to have the stats of the newborn. So what I'm going to do is weed. While we're weeding, I turned my mini press on so that way it can start heating up, and we can start weeding out this vinyl. So I'm using iron-on for this project just because I love to iron on wood when I can, and I happened to grab it this time around for this project, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. Again, I really wish that I did this for my daughter, but unfortunately I didn't think about it, or I didn't have a chance to do it. And well, like I said earlier, I'm going to do it for my best friend. Alright. So again, it just says, hello, I'm new here. And when the baby's born, she'll just write down the stats with a marker. Now, she lives, again, I moved away, 700 miles away for a job opportunity. So my friends and family are back north. And unfortunately, so if I lived closer, I would, as soon as I find out what the baby information was, I would get out my Cricut and write down so it looked all nice and neat. But unfortunately, I don't live close to her, so she'll just have to write it down herself. And I don't think she'll have an issue doing that. I want to say, yeah, I want to make sure that I'm not going to waste HTV here. I want to make sure I trimmed that down. I did. And again, we're going with gender neutral tones. So I'm just sticking in the grays. And then obviously you guys watched the previous craft and I did a green, and I only did that because green can be gender neutral, right? But I also did that because she loves green. So just as a reminder, when you're doing HTV, that you want to, now I am wasting a little bit of vinyl here, but in order to keep this nice and neat and straight, I'm okay with sacrificing a little bit of vinyl to achieve that. Again, just kind of being careful. And then I want to weed out my middles. Okay, so I just have name, weight, length, and date and time. So let's go ahead and get this ironed on first. I'm going to do the top here. And then I'm going to iron this on. I turned it on to medium heat. And I want to give out 2 shout outs to some new YouTube channels that I really like. First one is a.grace_co. Her name is Ashley, and I love her channel. She brings a lot of fun Cricut craft vinyl projects, and she actually just made a teacher's gift card, well, card/gift card, and it's such a cute little card. So be sure to check out her channel. And I'm kind of doing this without telling her, just because I want her to be surprised with all the new views that she'll get, hopefully. And then the other one that I want to tell you guys about, I think it's called, well, I'll wait till the end to tell you about her so you can stick around and find out about this other channel that I'm really inspired by. Again, her channel, well, I'll just tell you, her name is Lainey, and she is does the same type of things that both Ashley and I do, and her channel is called Crafted by Lucas, so be sure to check out her channel as well. And I'll be sure to link her channel to my description box, so you can just click on that and you can go straight to both of those channels. I really like their channels. They do Cricut crafting, and it's a craft with me. It's not, you know, the whole reason why I started my channel is because I felt there was a lot of how-tos, you know, and I'm a pretty experienced Cricketer, and I mean, I teach thousands of dollars software, so I don't need these videos of how to do something. And I really just would love to binge watch people who craft using their Cricut and did all the preparations first. Like, I don't want to watch someone paint, so I like the fact that Ashley and Lainey, they get all that done, they get their blanks all prepared, and you just sit there and watch them weed out the project, and then of course you get to see, you know, what the end result looks like. And I just think they do such a fabulous job, and I just want you guys to check them out and hopefully subscribe to their channel as well. I think, again, both of them, and they really pop out some good videos. So again, it's crafted by Lucas and a.grace_co, and I'll link their channel in the description box for you, so that way you can just click on it and check them out. And they're just awesome, just something to snuggle up and turn on and binge on their channels. Really, really good stuff. So I drawed out some of the heat. I'm going to be careful. I'm going to make sure I'm going to monitor all of my vinyl here. And see, the reason why I love HTV, because I think I mentioned this before in one of my videos, it just looks like it's been painted. It looks like it's been painted on. So with regular vinyl, to me, you can tell, because especially you'll have matte and you'll have glossy, and you know, you don't really get that painted look. But with HTV, I mean, you can kind of see the outline of it. Almost looks like it's embedded in there, so that's why I really like it. And look how sweet that is. It came off really nicely, and it matches the white paint really well. Oh, love it. Okay, and I am going to try to center this as best as possible, and also while trying to make sure it stays straight. So let me just pull this up so I can see. Again, I need it to, and it looks like I am missing, oh, I am missing quite a bit. Yep, there it is. And there, okay, looks like I have them here and there. So you know what? We're gonna see if we can mend that. It might be a little bit difficult, but I'm sure I'm gonna try to give it a try as best as I can. And again, I'm just kind of holding it up straight for myself, for my purposes, just to make sure that it is straight. Yep, I think that looks good. I'm going to bring in my parchment paper because I don't want to get my paint damaged here. And turn it over to draw out that heat. Now, adding those colons are going to be a little tricky. I'm going to bring out my tweezers. Okay. Still pretty warm actually, but I think it should be okay. And then let me try to peel this up without scratching and I already scratched it. Awesome job. That's all right. I can just add a little bit of paint. Oh, and it looks like it's coming up. All right, so that's gonna need some more heat. All right, there we go. Easy peasy, simple fix, not a problem. I think this turned out super cute. And again, all she has to do is with a marker write down the weight, length, date, and time, and of course a name. I absolutely loved how this turned out, and all she has to do is prop this up safely from the baby and take a picture of the baby. All right, let's go ahead and move into our next craft. We have one more vinyl and then we have a bunch of shirts to make. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. In this craft, we are going to make a cute little wood round sign for her 5-year-old. And her favorite color, she told me it changes from day to day, but purple seems to be the one that sticks out the most, that her daughter Abigail really likes. So I decided to go with this shimmer purple color. Just thought this would be, it's so girly. And then I also went with this textured purple and blue and pink for the stars that will go around her name. So hopefully she'll like it. I really like this shimmer. It's Paper Studio brand, so it's a little different from the shimmer that Cricut sells. Theirs is a little bit more textured and a little bit harder to work with. I think I mentioned earlier in this video or my previous video, I think it was my previous video, that shimmer, if you use Cricut brand shimmer paper, then you need to use their strong grip transfer tape. And I like how if you know, depending on the light, it kind of looks like it has some blue tinge to it, which matches well with the stars. So that's that. Let's go ahead and put that there just while we get this weeded out. I was a little worried to see if this would weed out nicely, only because I had this on the same mat, and I just did every premium vinyl, so I didn't know if this would cut out really well, but it did. So just note that if you buy this vinyl, you can use premium setting and it will work just fine. I was kind of feeling a little lazy and didn't feel like changing this or having two different mats. And I think I'm gonna apply these like stickers. So, and then I know that we definitely could have condensed this and used way less, but I wanted to get the different variations of color, so that is why I spread them around like that. So, all right, let's go ahead and bring out my transfer tape. And let's go ahead and burnish this. Okay, and let's burnish this on the front as well. Now this one with the stars, I think that you might need a strong grip with that one, only because of the texture of it, but we'll see how it goes. Bring this into camera. Now they do have this tooth hanger here, I think that's what it's called, and then you have this. I don't think I'm gonna care, honestly, because I think I might end up doing using some ribbon as a hanger. I just didn't have time to go and get something that matched this one, or I have super farmhouse stuff, so I don't think it's really going to be her style. So that is why I'm not really worrying about that. And of course I can use the parchment paper method, but I think that this should be pretty easy, especially since I don't have to worry about aligning it to a certain way, just because I will align it with the ribbon. And I think I have this, maybe. And this wood link here is from, let me see here, it's from Michael's. I believe it's from Michael's. I think if I'll take a look at it once I get this centered here. And I just painted it with some white chalk paint. Move this over. I think, oh, I think that's fine. All right. I wish you guys can see the shimmer because it is super cool. I mean, we'll see if we can get it to really shine once we get the transfer tape off. Being careful not to rip up my tape, or my paints. And if it does rip off, no big deal, because I can touch it up with my chalk paint. Oh, I love this purple. Purple's not one of my favorite. I mean, I like it, but it's not a go-to color for me, and it is really pretty with this white. Oh my goodness. You guys, ouch, that is, let's see if I can get it to, oh yeah, you guys can definitely see it. Wow, you guys, I'm absolutely in love with this. Now I gotta think what I can use to make, my daughter's gonna have to need something like this in her room. She already has a one for her front door, or for her door, for her bedroom, but I might have to, I mean, it's been there for over years. I might need to update it and get her a new one. Stay tuned, that will be in my next video. Well, not the next video, but it will be in my upcoming videos. All right, so let's go ahead and add the stars. You guys, I'll be honest, I'll be the first to admit, I am terrible about randomly placing things. I always want to try to create a pattern. I almost don't want to do it, but you know what? She's 5 years old, so she's gonna, this, I think this will just make, now if it was for me, no, I wouldn't add the stars. But since it's going to a 5-year-old who loves stars and hearts and all that stuff, she's born close to Valentine's Day, so maybe I should have done some hearts. But you know what? I'm sure she's like over the whole hearts, since she always gets hearts for her birthday. So I hope she'll like this. She can't quite, she's only 5, so she really can't read. She cannot read cursive. In fact, I don't even know if they still teach that in schools, do they? But her mom will tell her what this says. It says her name. And after I cut it out, I'm like, oh, maybe I should have done print so she knows what it says. But her daughter is super smart. I think like once you tell her, my daughter actually can read cursive, and she's 2 years old. And you think I'm kidding? I am dead serious. So I have these shadow boxes above her changing table. Well, it's her dresser really. And I had written her like letter and then her name. And so we told her that was, that was her name. And so then I was writing it down, and the name was in cursive. And so I wrote it down one day, and she pointed at it and said her name, so she can read it, or either she's not able, either she was able to read it, or she's just, I'm sure she's not able to read it, but she definitely memorized what her name looks like, so I think that's pretty awesome. So I'm just randomly placing these stars. Again, I am terrible with the way I had them laid out in Design Space. Worked really well, but again, I didn't want to waste all of that vinyl, so you guys are probably like screaming at me like, put it right there, or put it there. I'm just not able to see it. And we always want to have odds. We have 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I have 10, so I might leave one out. I think I don't need this large one. I think we just need some smaller ones in here. What do you think? swear to you guys, I'm terrible about with random. I don't think she's gonna care. I think she'll just like it regardless. So we got 4 and 4. Maybe we need to do 5 and 5. I think we need like 1 here. And why not? Let's go ahead and use this big one. Right here? What do you guys think? Too bad I'm not live, or you'd be able to tell me. Yeah, I think that looks good. I maybe could have used 1 more here, but I think this turned out adorable. Oh my goodness, you guys. And I don't know if you guys can see the texture of my star here, but there is a little bit of a texture there, but you guys can definitely tell with her name. All right, let's go ahead and move into the final project of this video, and that is a bunch of shirts that we got to apply some vinyl to. All right, let's move on to the next one. So we have a bunch of onesies that we're going to be doing, but I want to first start off with the other 2 kids' shirts first. So I have a green for their 2-year-old. And I just thought it'd be kind of cute to add little or big brother and big sister. So let me go ahead and get that weeded out. And I think this is the green that she loves, this Kelly green color, or this, I don't know. Maybe it's not Kelly green. I don't know. This, to me, this looks like it's Kelly green. But I think this is her favorite color. So I think this is why I'm choosing to use this color. If it's not, oh well. I think he likes green as well. So let's go ahead. I got this upside down. My apologies. I'm trying to get in a habit of weeding my vinyl right side up because of filming. And I'll be honest, I really do not weed in any direction. Meaning I don't care what way my vinyl, unless I'm having a hard time like understanding what I'm weeding, then I do, then it does matter. But now that I'm filming, I got to pay attention a little bit better, so that way you guys can understand like what it is that I am reading. So I'm trying to do a little bit better when it comes to, see, I just try to flip it upside down. Try to do better when I am weeding, when I'm filming. So one of my favorite things about watching with crafting with Lucas and Ashley's channel, which is the a.grace_co, Lainey and Ashley, I like that the videos that I loved, and I tried searching for some similar videos that includes the weeding part. I love to watch people weed out their vinyl. Now, of course, when it's like a mandala, you know, that gets a little bit boring after a while, but I just like to see, especially, I don't even like to look at their thumbnails, not theirs in particular, but just in general, because I don't want to know what it is until the very end. So I try not to look at their thumbnails and then really study it afterwards just to see how cool. And because it's actually a lot of effort to create a YouTube channel. You got to push content, and then you got to be a graphic designer because you want to make sure that your thumbnails, which is like the image you see before you clicked on the video, you got to make sure that's awesome, because if people are going to look at your thumbnail and it looks boring, they're not going to click on it, right? So I always take the time to, after watching the video, I take a look at their thumbnails and appreciate the effort that they put into creating that. And I have to say, that's one of my favorite things about starting this channel, is the graphic design part. I always feel like if I would do things over and over, like over again, I probably would have got into graphic design. Back when I was in high school, I wanted to get into AutoCAD, which is an architectural, well, it's not architecture, it's an engineering software in architectural software. And I wanted to get it. I was told I needed to get into that. So I got, before I get into that story, I got the big brother and the big sister. Now I'm going to weed out the stuff for the onesies, and then we'll go ahead and iron it on. But anyways, going back to my story here. So I was trying to get into the AutoCAD vocational in high school, and because I've always knew I wanted to be an architect, since I was a child. I mean, legitimately, I taught myself 2 professional programs in the 7th and 8th grade. And I used to love playing The Sims all the time. And then I realized I was designing the houses more than playing the games. And so I thought, why don't I buy myself a professional program? And I opened it up and I couldn't figure it out, and I think at the time I was in the 6th grade, and my mom, and so anyways, I put it away, and my mom's friend asked to borrow it because they wanted to design a home, so I said, of course, and they couldn't figure it out, so I'm like, you know what, I'm going to give this a try, and I asked my mom, like, how do I do this? And she said, open the book to page 1, and that's how you do it. So I did, and I read the book from front to back, and mastered that program in 6 months when I was in the 7th grade. And then I got into the 8th grade and got myself a more expensive, more intensive software, and then was able to master that in a year or less. And then when I got into high school, I want to get into vocational, the AutoCAD, because that's the step that I needed to take to become an architect to help with getting into these colleges. And then they told me, oh, you know, just it's actually getting filled up, so we can't get you in there, but you can do engineering graphics. And I said, not engineering graphics, but graphic design, what? And I did not want to do that. I was so upset that I couldn't get in, and well, as luck would have it, they had a spot opening left, because I think I applied to it when I was late, or I was late to applying for it, that's why I didn't get a spot available. So I ended up getting into it, fall in love. I love AutoCAD. I teach it for a living. But as I'm getting older and crafting, I'm learning that I love to just graphically design. Now, I am not a professional by any means. I mean, you're probably going to look at my thumbnail and say, really? Like, that's, you know, but I'm actually considering taking classes or like a seminar just to get a little bit better at it. Eventually, I'll be honest, my goal is to sell either SVGs or like JPEGs or PNGs, like graphic designs on Etsy for people to put on there, or like to craft with. So I have a few that I've already done, but you know, I gotta learn a lot. And I'm trying to, and I work full time. I have a kid, I have a house and all that fun stuff. So it's going to take a lot of time, and I have a goal set. So I figured YouTube is the start, gain some exposure, and then see how people like my stuff. And then if it becomes popular, and then maybe move into selling my stuff. I've already done some craft shows, but you know, I just don't think right now we're in the season to be selling crafts at craft stores or at craft shows, just because of how the economy is. People are not buying things, and unfortunately we have to sell it at not an expensive rate, but we can't sell things cheap when it's handcrafted, because then we would never, you know, we would make $1 per hour. And sometimes that happens, and I get that. But people just who don't craft, they don't understand the time and material it takes, the cost to make it also, it takes to make something. And so they don't understand why things are as expensive as they are. And so therefore it's kind of hard to sell at these craft shows. But you know, you got to start somewhere, and then you got to learn how you can monetize it and make it more efficiently. So that's what I'm learning. I've done a few in my local area, and I don't know where that one piece went. I'm sure it will pop up somewhere. But this is a start. I have a 5-year plan, but as of right now, my main gig is working at a college here near where I live, and running the department and teaching college students architectural and mechanical drawings. And I really enjoy what I do, but I think that I'm just ready to learn something new, and in the interim, we will keep doing what I'm doing. And this YouTube, surprisingly, I always knew it took some time. It takes a lot of effort, but I was not prepared with how much. And it's quite a bit of work creating your YouTube channel, and it's a little bit of pressure because you want your stuff to look great and perfect, if that's even possible. Which, you know, I'm a strong believer, you can't do perfection when you can expect perfection when you're crafting. But and also let's see. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to look to see if that. What areas? Yep, it is. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, and there is a little piece in the middle. I knew there was. My goal is to put out 2 videos a week, and maybe 3 if I have the time. But as I said, it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of work to come up with the creative content. Then it's another you got to prepare your stuff, right? So that way you're not boring everybody with painting and sanding and all that. And then once that's all done, I knew that piece would show up somewhere. I might find it. I'm just pushing my scraps to the side because I'll end up cutting that out here in a minute. So I might put some down here too. But so anyways, so there's that. And then you have to edit your videos and then apply music and learn. I had to learn a brand new software, a video editing software. I've never done in my life a video editing software, and I'm teaching myself this editing software, so I'm still new, and I'm learning, you know, what to do when I'm on the camera and what not to do. So that's why it's a little raw, my content is, and it's not perfect. We're getting new equipment as we can afford it, day by day type thing. So I got a new mat, I think, to make the video content look a little bit nicer, and I'm getting lighting here soon, so the lighting will be better down the road. But you know, it's all in time because that stuff can get pretty expensive. But yeah, so thank you for watching and, you know, being patient with me as I learn what to do and what to say on camera. And I'm hoping to grow my channel, and it'd be awesome to make some type of money off of this so I can afford better equipment. I really want to get a laser cutter. That I think will help with growing my channel and hopefully selling on Etsy. And that's just my easy press trying to turn off because I haven't touched it in a while. Okay, so enough of that. I have a new to the crew. Got it from my mama. Hello, I'm new here. The snuggle is real and Little Dreamer. So I thought it'd be cute if the kids would wear the new to the, or if the baby wore new to the crew, and then the baby's brother and sister could wear big brother and big sister. Just an idea I had. Of course, she can do whatever her little heart desires to do with how she wants to do her pictures. But that's just my little dream of her doing that. So whatever she wants to do, she's the mama and I'm just the fun aunt slash friend. So what we want to do is, let's go ahead and preheat our shirt. Sorry, I lost my train of thought here. So I went with this magenta color. Kind of looks, I'm just trying to find the center. Now, the trick that you can do is fold the shirt in half and then fold your decal. Then you can find the center. But I'm going to pull this up so I can just see it, make sure it's straight. But you know what? I'm not really worried about that. So I think that's good to go. You don't need to worry about adding the parchment paper to this because you know, it doesn't need it. Now, if you were doing infusible ink, then you would need to have your top covered, protected, so you don't get any ink on your. Although, if you're doing infusible ink, I would not suggest using your mini press because you run the risk of moving your infusible ink, and then you would get a ghosting effect, which would not be good. So I'm going to let this cool down. I'm going to move on to my next one. Okay, so I got that iron on. I'm going to take that and put that on my mat to cool it down. I'm going to bring this back in and pull this off. Be careful to monitor all of your vinyl, your HTV, making sure nothing's going to peel up. And it looks like everything ironed on pretty good, but I like to add my protective sheet again and just add a little bit more heat to it, just because I feel like that initial peel just kind of rips up the vinyl a little bit, the HTV. So I just like to apply some more heat to it. And you should, if it's all good, it should be able to just take this right off without any problem. But you want to be careful with doing that, only because since you reheated it, it may peel up, which it didn't. So there we go, big sister. Love it. All right, let's go ahead and peel the big brother up. Let's see how that works out. This is peeling up a lot better than the other one. So let's go ahead and just apply additional heat. Oh, love it. Did really well. Okay, let's go ahead and start working on the onesies. This is giving me such flashbacks of when my little girl was this small. It is truly amazing how fast they grow. And it is so true that they grow in a blink of the eye. And gosh, I mean, she's only 2, and I know before I know it, she'll be starting school soon. And it's gonna be one sad mama. All right. So again, I just went with this gray because I have no idea what the gender of their little one is. I wish they would tell me, but they're rudely not telling me. I'm just kidding. It's not rude, obviously, but I joke with them. Okay, and I'm just checking to make sure that it's centered. And I did 0 to 3 months. I think that's what I did, yeah. That's one thing that I learned when I had my first one. I had all these, well, to be honest, I hardly had to buy any clothes for my daughter because my cousin and my best friend, who's having her 3rd kid, her and then my sister-in-law, they all gave me their clothes. And I will tell you what, between the 3 of them, I maybe had like one age gap where I didn't have enough. And I'm gonna just move this aside and let it cool down. That I had to buy for, and the rest I just used what was given to me, or she used what was given to her. So I didn't have to, I hardly had to buy anything. And I have stuff that's all the way up to 4T. So I have been really blessed with family and friends giving me their clothes. And so she is all set. Now, of course, if I want to buy some new stuff, I can, but you know, she's really all set. But anyway, I've learned that newborns really don't need a whole lot of clothes. I thought, oh, I'm gonna put them in these cute outfits, and you're like, oh God, no, I just want them to like not cry, you know. And so that is one thing that I have learned. I'm thinking this one's a little Cricut. Let me bring it up to me. So that is one thing that I have learned when having a baby of my own. So if you're having your first kid, don't waste your money on newborn clothes. Get some cute outfits, but buy clothes for like older months, because you will not get a bunch of onesies for your newborn and some sleepers and all that fun stuff and whatever else you need, but that's all you're going to need for your newborn. The fun of changing clothes and put them in cute outfits comes a little bit later, because those first few months you're not going anywhere. You're staying home and you're just busy taking care of your little snuggle bunny or your baby, and you're not going to really worry about what they're wearing while you're snuggling with them. You're just going to be so thankful that they're in your arms and out of your tummy. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. Again, that initial peel is so harsh. I'm just feeling around, and it really got on there good. So I'm just going to apply a little bit more heat just real quickly. And again, ideally you would just use one big heat press, but I just had this out and didn't really want to fuss with that. All right, first onesie down well, we already got that one done. So 3.5 more to go. All right, we did it. 5 adorable onesies. Oh, I really liked how they came out, and even though they're gray tone, I still think I really liked it. And again, my goal is to have what I would like to, but again, the mom can decide how she wants to do it, but I think it would be so cute to maybe pair these 3 shirts, Big Sister, Big Brother, and New to the Crew. Oh, I think that would be super adorable. Or maybe even this one. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section which one you think pairs well with these shirts. This one, hello, I'm new here, or New to the Crew. Maybe New to the Crew. I think I'm really liking. But you know what? Whatever she decides is what will matter. All right, let's go ahead and bring in everything together and see what we did today. Wow, we did a lot today, but I think everything came out super adorable. I really loved how this turned out. I love that she can just simply take this off and then add the first 1 month picture, and then the baby can sit right next to the baby. I think that these turned out super well, and I still have to fix the ones that just has the months on there, but I think that was a design space issue, to be honest, as I remember resizing it to the size of the disc, but I went back into design space to make one change, and then apparently just undid everything that I just resized. But that's okay, I will get those finished. There's only like 4 or 5 of them that I need to do, but again, I think that this turned out super cute. And even though it's a little bit oversized, in my opinion, I probably would have, if I could do it all over again, I'm just trying to add this back on here. If I could do it all over again, I definitely would have made this a tiny bit smaller, but I think it just kind of gives a little bit of character to it. But I really liked how this turned out. And then the hello, I am new here. Oh, I love it. I love it better than the one that Hobby Lobby did. I mean, why buy something when you can make it for yourself 10 times the amount that they were selling it for, right? I'm just kidding, but seriously. But anyways, yeah, like I said, it'd be nice. My sister actually has a Cricut. She lives by my best friend, so maybe I'll have her do that and have her use the same font, and then she can iron it on, and they can do some newborn pictures with this if they choose to do that, or just have this hang in their nursery. So I really just loved how this turned out, and I love that I did the natural wood. It's really it's super cute, and I just like it paired with the white chalk paint, and I like the fact that I did the gray iron on, and then I paired it, did the same gray iron on for the onesie. So I just think this turned out super adorable. And then, of course, I think I have to say it's tied between, I don't know, I really love all of these. I would say this is probably my favorite. I've been wanting to do this one for so long, and I'm so glad that my best friend gave me a reason to use this. I might even try to make these for a few other people that are pregnant as well. But I don't know. I can't decide out of the 3 which one I really like the most. I think... What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section which of the 3, and maybe the shirts were your favorite. I don't know, but I think, gosh, I can't say. They're all 3 my favorite. And of course, like, let's just look at this one for a second. Let's just look at the awesome shimmer to that. And again, it just feels like regular vinyl. It's different from the Cricut version of shimmer, because on this vinyl here, it does say shimmer, but if you look at the Cricut brand, they have a little bit more, they say texture, it says shimmer, and it's more texture. This just feels like regular vinyl. So I don't know, I really like this, and I like the fact that I didn't have to use my strong grip, because if I would have used my strong grip, I almost feel as though I feel like it would have ripped up my paint. So I'm super glad that I didn't have to do that, and that's why I went with this brand. Plus, I got it on clearance. I was so thrilled about that. I only paid like $3 for like 48 inches, so I am super stoked about that. But anyways, this turned out super cute, and like I said, I'm going to add a ribbon, because I definitely did not get this centered with this by any means. Well, actually, no, way off centered. So, and then I think I said earlier in the video, I'll tell you where I got it from, and it's from Mondo Llama. So no, I got this from Target, actually. So this is from Hobby Lobby. This thing was from Hobby Lobby, and then these discs were from Amazon, and then the Velcro was from Michaels. But I just don't have anything that's going to match this, so I just got to go to the store and add the ribbon to this to get to provide a hanger for it, and I think she's really going to like it. Well, her mom will at least. And then, of course, these shirts. These shirts came out so adorable. I think that I just can't wait for her to see these beautiful shirts. They just, I mean, it just came out really nice. And with this vinyl, it just feels like it's, you can barely feel the vinyl with the, you can't feel the difference between the vinyl and the actual shirt. So I think these just came out super adorable. And like I said, I hope that she uses at least one of these two to do a picture of the new baby and the big brother and the big sister. So, and here are those shirts. And I liked that I kind of used this pinkish purple colors, magenta, just because, you know, she told me that her favorite color changes daily, but the one that seems to be the most is the purple. So I think that really ties in, especially ties in with her shirt, or her door sign. So, all right, well, hopefully you would gain some inspiration from this video, so that way if you know someone that you want to craft for who is expecting, that you maybe gain some inspiration to create of your own. And thanks again for watching my video, and I look forward to crafting with you guys again in my upcoming video. Thanks, guys.